Well, hello there. Welcome to Talking Tennis. Yes, it's Kira and Nick back in the house, and we're here to watch Charleston again. Hi, Kira.
Hello, we just couldn't help ourselves, could we?
No, as soon as we logged off yesterday, we were like, yeah, we're going to watch the Charleston final. Yeah, we're going to watch the Charleston final.
Yeah, obviously we're going to watch Charleston final.
This is this is the last sort of, well, the probably the biggest match of the day in terms of the tournament, in terms of the level of tournament, maybe kind of the reputation of the two players involved as well. Though I suspect people who are fans of Shelton and Tiafoe might disagree with that. But that's not started yet. This has. So we're going to be getting underway very soon here. The players are just warming up. So Kira, let's come to you. How do you see this clash potentially playing out?
I'm struggling to get past a relatively straightforward Danielle Collins win. To be honest, I think the way that she's been playing these last couple of weeks, I think she'll probably have too much for Kasatkina today. I did think Kasatkina played well against Pegula, but I think Danielle Collins is just such a different player and might just sort of bully her off the court to an extent.
I think there's a risk of that. I think Kasatkina has the reputation and has the potential with her defense to maybe elongate some of the points, but it's really going to depend on Collins and sort of how her firepower is working. But yeah, I'm with you. I think it's going to take a bit of a dip from Collins to not win this title, really. She's been excellent all week. She's been excellent for 3 weeks. And I don't see that changing. I think this could end up being a Collins celebration stream by the look of it. Hello, Jane.
Yes, that would make sense. And if she manages to pull off what she can do today, then she'll deserve a celebration stream.
Tell you what, I actually recorded with Anastasia the latest episode of Ground Pass today, and basically most of my segment was basically saying how amazing Danielle Collins is. Yeah, I think it's just been nothing but superlatives with there. So yeah, there we go. So Danielle Collins is just warming up now. I guess, so we don't get her completely overshadowed. Let's talk about Kasatkina while we have the chance. What are your thoughts on her run to this final?
I think she's played well. Probably more than well. That sounded like I wasn't sure. No, I do think she's played really well. I think that Pegula match, even though it was really great to watch, I do think that was a little bit of a slog, and she really struggled to hold serve against Pegula. With somebody like Danielle Collins and her return game, that could be a real problem. So she's going to have to be better on serve today is my main thing. But I do think she played well. She covered the court brilliantly. So if we can see the same kind of movement from her today, you never know.
Yeah, you never know. I suppose, yeah, it's not. I'm not necessarily talking about her chances, but yeah, I think that win against Pegula was pretty impressive. Obviously, it's classic Kasatkina scrap. Collins, but the Kasatkina's run, I think, was a little bit under the radar until she got to Pegula. But still, probably it's her third final of the year. It's one of her sort of monthly peaks, as it were.
Yes, exactly. And it would be a real shame in a certain way if another one of those peaks goes without a title when, she's already had those 2 losses to Rybakina and Ostapenko in her incredible run at the start of the year. If she's coming up against another player in total brilliant form, when she, is deserving of a title this year. The tennis she's played so far this year, I think, has been really impressive. And if it's not today, then I do hope at some point she can convert that into a title this season.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason why not. She's got to make sure she doesn't run into the wrong opponent. It just
difficult to do.
Yeah, we're expecting this to, unfortunately, for Kasatkina. I mean, look, let's face it. Let's see if whatever happens next proves us wrong. But we're expecting this to be the wrong opponent for Kasatkina.
Yes, we are. I mean, I thought there'd be, like yesterday when we covered Zachary and Danielle Collins. I again expected Danielle Collins to win, but I thought it would be quite close, and Zachary didn't particularly cause much trouble for Collins. So in that same way, I sort of think Kasatkina might struggle too, but she's had a good run. She should take a lot of confidence from the Pegula win, like you say, to really scrap it out at the end there. That might be something she can take with her into today.
That is true. By the way, we have had the first point of the match, which ended with Kasatkina scooping a forehand over the baseline. So Collins has won the first point of the match. And I think it is going to be the Kasatkina forehand that, like I noticed from the Pegula match, is the one that's going to break down if either wing is going to have a problem. So maybe head to that side a bit more. Although they're into a backhand rally, Kasatkina's changed direction. Collins just clips the baseline without flying up the line, moving Kasatkina around, comes to the net, but doesn't need to because because Kasatkina went into the net.
My stream isn't currently working, but
okay,
rest assured, I will make do until I make it work.
Okay, well, whilst you work that out, I can just let me know when you're up and running, and I'll talk everyone through what's happening. By the way, I'm also keeping an eye on the score in Bogota because Maria Camila Osorio is currently serving for the match at 6-3, 6-5. But Buzkova has a break back point to take it to a tiebreak in Bogota, but that would be a home win for Camila Osorio. Collins serves, now gets the +1 fine up the line. Kasatkina runs it. The backhand off the top of the net, inside out fine from Collins, slice from Kasatkina. Collins comes in, backhand to Kasatkina. Collins steps back to the baseline, still trading with the backhand, but from the middle of the court. Collins tries to change direction from the backhand and puts it in the tram lines for 30-15.
Yes, and I've finally seen a point, and that was that backhand, yet again, which we said from Danielle Collins was maybe leaking a couple of errors in her last game, if anything was, I would suggest.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I think if anything, Collins wants to hit to Kasatkina's forehand, and Kasatkina wants to hit to Collins' backhand. If you want to get some errors out your opponent, that's where you go. We've got a second serve for Danielle Collins here. Osorio has match point over in Bogota. And we've got a second serve here in Charleston for Danielle Collins, who goes out wide with the serve. Backhand in play from Kasatkina. Collins goes up the line with a backhand. Kasatkina struggles to run it down. Really short for Collins to put away with the forehand. And she does cross court 40-15.
Yeah, starting strong, as we'd sort of expect. I've noticed Kasatkina has the same strapping that she had to get put on in her semi-final around her thigh. It's quite heavy strapping around her thigh. It didn't seem to hinder her too much, I didn't think, in the semi-final. I didn't know she was injured before she had that medical timeout, but we'll see.
I guess we'll find out in What the Vlog.
Very true. I'm sure she will tell all, as she usually does.
Indeed, indeed. Collins is trying to close this match out because Osorio has missed match point and Buzkova has break point in Bogota. Got a backhand cross court from Collins, slice from Kasatkina into the net, and Collins gets the opening game. Good start for the American.
Yeah, and she'll want to have a similar start to yesterday. I imagine we will see a very aggressive Danielle Collins in this next game. She loves an early break.
Well, she's going to want it. She needs to avoid this becoming a like too much of a grind against Kasatkina.
Yeah, particularly the points. I think it's quite easy against Kasatkina to fall into a rhythm of backhand to backhand or forehand to forehand or whatever it might be. You can fall into quite long rallies, and that's the sort of thing that she's going to want to end straight away.
Yeah, which she's been doing pretty well up to this point. Obviously, I'm just having a look at the history of Charleston now, and like obviously Danielle Collins is trying to become sort of a home winner for the tournament. I'm just counting something up as we get Collins already with the first point. So looking good so far for Danielle Collins there.
Yeah, that was a strong first point, and she had no hesitation coming into the net. Not that I'd expect her to, but she's just so confident.
All right, really short ball from Kasatkina that Collins is punishing at the minute. Tries to go for the inside, a backhand winner, but puts it in the net. And I think it's probably going out anyway, 15 all. So there we go. Still a big battle going on in Bogota to try and put that match away.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to keep an eye on that score as well, but it's just flip-flopping back and forth.
Well, yeah, one thing at a time. One thing at a time. Kasatkina goes out wide with the first serve, and Collins puts the return into the net. 30-15 for Kasatkina. Again, Collins going like yesterday. Collins going for quite a lot on that return.
Oh yes, oh most certainly. Especially any second serve, she's going to attack it, and she gets another one here on 30-15.
Kasatkina getting ready to serve this second one. Goes really short with the second serve. Huge forehand from Collins, just on the attack. Hits a winner, 30 all.
Yeah, I mean, you can just see it coming. It's not even a question now. She gets a second serve. You absolutely know she's probably going to go for a winner with it, and it might not work every time, but it works enough for her to keep going for it.
By the way, they're into a tie-break in the second set in Bogota. So sorry, I did not take advantage of those match points. Backhand from Kasatkina to the backhand of Collins. There's trading cross court at the minute. Collins still going for the trade, and Kasatkina nets with the backhand, and it's the Russians tend to break down from that side, which is interesting. And Collins has break point.
Yeah, I mean, it felt inevitable even before she started this service game. I know it shouldn't because she's such an accomplished player, but it felt like this early break was something that was always going to happen.
But the serve is overhit. The return is overhit by Collins, and it's deuce. So first break point saved by Kasatkina.
Yeah, it's a nice serve, but the return, she just sort of went for a bit too much on it. Right shot.
Daria Kasatkina now trying to make sure she holds and tries to make this match competitive, but already it's looking like Collins is the stronger player. Backhand slice from Collins on the run. Kasatkina's got the middle of the court to put away a forehand. Advantage to Kasatkina.
Maybe the early break isn't inevitable after all. She was always going to have something to say about it. It's just like you say, yeah. Already Collins looking stronger, even if she doesn't manage to break here.
I mean, obviously, it's the very beginning of the match. It's there's still a lot of things that can happen. But there we go. As Kasatkina's just gone long with that, so it's back to deuce. Sharon is saying it's a bad matchup. Kasatkina's second serve has a 0 chance against Collins' return. I think that kind of depends on how well Collins hits the return.
But at Collins' best and the sort of returning we've seen her do over the last few weeks, yeah, I completely agree.
Actually, I don't know what their head-to-head is. I think they probably had it up earlier.
It's 2-1 Kasatkina.
Interesting. Yeah, so it's actually a competitive rivalry. It's the inside-out backhand return from Collins is wide.
Yeah, they haven't played since 2021.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of things have happened since 2021.
Difficult. Yeah.
Which event oh no, Kasatkina was she beat Kasatkina in her last winning streak in the San Jose final.
Yes.
We said that yesterday.
We did. But I wouldn't have remembered if you didn't say it. And then I think it was another 250 where Kasatkina beat her in 2021 as well.
Interesting. Cross-court backhand from Collins, putting Kasatkina under pressure. Now Collins is going to get the ball long over the baseline from Kasatkina. The pressure's paying off, and it's back to deuce. Long game, this one.
Yeah, already. And this is a sort of long game that we said Collins obviously won't want to get into, but if it's on Kasatkina's serve and she's getting chances to break, she might not mind quite so much.
Yeah, I think at this point it's okay. It's just whether it continues and whether every game becomes this. which with Kasatkina it very well could. I mean, like Kasatkina is able to do that with someone who serves like Elena Rybakina. If you remember that Montreal match they had last year.
That one was.
Did you? I don't know if you saw it because it was on. I think it was on late night for the Canadians, but it was finishing when I woke up in the morning.
I remember watching it when I woke up in the morning. I don't know how much I must have caught of it. Probably a set.
Yeah, it was mad. They were still going.
Yeah.
Breakpoint Collins. First serve from Kasatkina is long. So it's another second serve for Collins to look at. She does not want to overhit this return. She wants to go for it, but she doesn't want to overhit it. So second serve from Kasatkina. Backhand return from Collins, cross court. Cross court from Kasatkina. Collins going back to Kasatkina's backhand. Now they're still trading. Collins changes direction with their backhand. Kasatkina's trying to run it down. Just gets it. Collins still managed to scramble it, but Kasatkina takes advantage of the fact that that was an amazing get from her and puts the backhand away, and it's back to deuce. What a save.
That was a brilliant save from Kasatkina. And I do think, you mentioned just before the point about the return, she had a second serve to look at. I thought Collins' return there was just a little bit tame by her standards. It was a good return, don't get me wrong, but by her standards, she didn't put it away as much as she might have, which I think allowed Kasatkina back into it.
Kasatkina serves up the tee, backhand to the Collins backhand up the line, forehand Kasatkina to the Collins backhand sliced, and Kasatkina's now got a forehand which he pulls cross court. Collins still runs it down, but can't get it in court, and it's advantage to Kasatkina. Great work moving Collins from side to side. Not a lot of pace, but still enough loop on it to be tricky to get when she got there.
Exactly, and that could make a difference to how her service games go, at least in this.
Yeah, Kasatkina has got an advantage, goes up the tee, misses it. So second serve to try and put this game away. It feels this final's been going for a while already. We're only on game 2. Here we go. Serves. Body serve. Backhand from Collins is huge. Scrambled from Kasatkina. Short. Collins puts away the forehand.
She learnt that from the last one, I'm so sure, because the last backhand return that she did on a second serve was just a little bit tame, and that one she was like, not a chance, I'm going to put this away, and she did perfectly.
Brilliant from Danielle Collins, but like she's probably hoping she did that on that break point, right?
Yeah, that's very true.
Great backhand from Turner Collins. Now going back to the Kasatkina backhand, who's going for the Collins backhand again, just trading at the minute. Collins goes up the line with this backhand long. Advantage Kasatkina. And I don't know why Collins is so happy to trade with the Kasatkina backhand.
I'm surprised at how happy she is, especially because we've said her backhand is a little bit, if anything's going to be ropey, it's going to be Collins' backhand. So surprised she's happy to do that.
So advantage to Kasatkina. Serves out wide. Backhand, huge return from Collins. Cross court. Now Collins goes inside out on the forehand, and as Kasatkina still scrambles that back. Now she goes inside out with the forehand, Collins, to save a game point again. Kasatkina's wrong-footed. And it's back to deuce.
3 huge shots there. The backhand return was huge, and then the 2 inside-out forehands were just massive. She did well to get the first 2 back, Kasatkina.
I was thinking exactly the same thing, Kira.
Yeah. Glad to hear
it. We're usually on the same page with a lot of things. Backhand up the line from Collins. Forehand cross court from Kasatkina. Cross court to cross court on the forehand. Kasatkina loops that one up. Backhand up the line from Collins. Slice on the forehand from Kasatkina. Cross court forehand from Collins. Now they're trading forehand to forehand. Collins goes up the line with that one. And it's advantage Kasatkina because the forehand was over the baseline.
Great tension there. It was suspense that whether she'd made it.
Well, it's because I couldn't tell if she'd made it or not. I was waiting for the score to change. It was in the shadow.
It was very close. It was very, very close.
Is this game finally going to end? This match has been going for 13 minutes. How many deuces have we had here? Here we go. First serve is long from Kasatkina. Bouncing the ball. Serves. Body serve. Backhand from Collins is too good on the return. It's back to deuce.
It's ridiculous. That return is absolutely mad. How many times are we gonna have to say it during this match?
Why is the thing is though, Collins is probably wondering why she's not pulling off these returns when she's up break point.
Exactly. She's gonna need to at some point, otherwise this is gonna go on for a long time.
Kasatkina serves out wide. Forehand Collins up the line. Backhand Kasatkina under pressure. Forehand into sight from Collins. Backhand Kasatkina to the cross court. Collins goes up the line with her backhand. Kasatkina manages to run it down, slices the forehand into play. Forehand cross court from Collins. Again, scrambled defensive forehand from Kasatkina is long, and now Collins has a breakpoint chance again.
And she's going to want a second serve and a big, big backhand return here, I think.
Daria Kasatkina is now facing a third breakpoint. She's managed to save the other two, although I think sent to Collins overhitting it. Now she goes out wide with the first serve. Backhand in play from Collins. Forehand Kasatkina just clears the net. Forehand from Collins is long. She looked off balance. She looked off balance when trying to hit that.
Yeah, she wasn't in the right position, I don't think.
We have a Bogota champion. Camila Osorio has won 6-3, 7-6. It was 7-5 in the tiebreak. Colombia has a home hero.
Oh, good for her. That's a lovely place for her to get the title.
Huge inside-out forehand from Collins. It's too good. It can't get past Kasatkina. Kasatkina can't get a handle on it. It's advantage Collins again.
I don't think that Kasatkina is necessarily serving better on these break points to stop Collins from getting in. I feel like she's just not executing the shots the same way on the break points. It's really weird.
So she needs to make the most of her opportunities. Thank you very much, Jane, as the first serve into the net from Kasatkina. Second serve to look at for Danielle Collins. Second gets the forehand into play. Huge forehand as well. Upline from Kasatkina. Cross court forehand, backhand from Collins is way too good. She finally hits that winner. There's the fist pump. There's the come on. And it's Danielle Collins who's got the early break in this match.
Oh, took her a long time, but she should be quite pleased with that because that backhand was quite sensational. The angle on it.
Yeah, it's just too good. It's just too darn good. And the crowd absolutely love it as well.
Even though she was shushing them a minute ago.
Why was she shushing the crowd? They're on her side.
I know, that's what I thought. I think maybe she missed something and they must have done a bit of gasping or something.
Don't sound so shocked I'm struggling to break. Just let me get on with it. 17. But she's now got the break. She now needs to consolidate. Gets a great backhand up the line to the Kasatkina forehand, which is long. And so Collins gets the first point, 15 love. And John's telling us apparently we are accredited for the Busan Opener Challenger in South Korea, which is great. So we're going to get some great Challenger content coming your way. Yeah. And John's going to the Billie Jean King Cup in Portugal.
Fun. That would be lovely. Nice.
So just how far is that from Estoril, John? It's very nice when you can go on an extended European break.
Yeah. Especially when you don't have to go too far afterwards. You get to stay in Portugal. Very nice.
Collins serves out wide. Backhand in play from Kasatkina. Backhand up the line from Collins. Winner. Parry 10 minutes away from by car from Estoril. So yeah, you could probably just stay in Estoril and drive if you had a car.
That's 10 minutes by car. That's pretty good. I wasn't expecting that.
I would love to be 10 minutes away from a tennis tournament by car.
Yeah.
I have to make do with about half an hour to either Birmingham or Nottingham.
Same here, about half an hour to Birmingham.
Forehand inside out from Collins. Slice from Kasatkina. Collins is attacking again with the forehand. Now she's got the overhead, which she does with a swing volley and gets the job done. 40 love. Now still 20 minutes by public transport. Not bad.
Very exciting. I can't remember which group is in Portugal because I haven't really been... I've been so consumed by like 5 tournaments this week. I haven't even thought about the Billie Jean King Cup.
I think it's just qualifiers. So I think Portugal are playing another country. But yeah, I don't know who it is. Yeah, I should probably get that up.
It's all right.
Maybe take a look. But yeah. 40 love for Danielle Collins. Yeah, maybe we should do some Billie Jean King Cup chat at some point on this stream, because that's what's coming up next week.
Exactly.
Double fault from Collins, 40-15. Seems like that's the only thing that could go wrong for her at the minute.
Yeah, if she starts double faulting a lot, maybe Kasatkina might have a chance. I don't know.
Danielle Collins serves into the net. Come on, Danielle, I'm trying to serve out to love here.
Surely she'll get this one in.
She does. Backhand in play. Backhand from Kasatkina is awkward from, and the backhand from Collins is into the net. 40-30. Try not to don't make life too hard for yourself there.
Yeah, she has that. It's just a couple of errors from her side, so she shouldn't be too worried, I wouldn't think, as long as she gets a good serve in here.
Danielle Collins puts the first serve into the net. Never mind.
Scratch that.
Let's see how this one goes. Second serve for Collins. Kasatkina gets a backhand on the short serve. Forehand up the line from Collins. Forehand, Kasatkina scooped up. Forehand cross court from Collins. Kasatkina goes to Collins' backhand, who goes cross court. Backhand. Oh my word. I think Kasatkina was trying to go for the slice, but the ball kind of died on her. And that helps Collins because she's changing ends 3-love up.
Yeah, just a momentary 2 points where she just wasn't quite on it. One of which is a double fault, which can happen to anyone. So not too worrying there. I think you see her go 40-love up and you think, service hold to love, easy.
So we have Danielle Collins is up, and she's actually trying to become the 10th American woman to win the title in Charleston, which has been on the tour since 1973. So it's actually probably one of the original WTA tournaments in some ways. Can you name any of the 9 American women?
I could feel that coming,
Yeah. I think this depends on how some of them are really obvious. I'll give you that.
Are they? I still won't get them. I'm so bad at specific. Okay.
Okay. I'll give you a hint for the first one.
Okay.
Wasn't American born originally.
Navratilova.
Yes. Won it 3 times.
Lovely. Thank God.
No, 4 times, sorry.
4 times? Wow.
Yeah.
Other Americans, man. Has Madison Keys ever won it?
Yes, she has.
Has.
In fact, she was the last American to win it back in 2019.
2019.
Beat Wozniacki in the final.
Very nice. I'm so bad at specific nationalities. I'm really genuinely awful at it.
Okay, we think about famous American tennis players.
I know it should be really obvious. Give me this game. You talk.
Okay,
give me this game.
I can do that for you. I'm more than happy to do that for you.
Thank you. Thank you, Nick.
So yeah, we've got Collins at the net putting the forehand swing volley away for love 15, and yeah, trying to take as much control of this match as possible. Oh, great guess for Madison Keys, Sean. Sorry, I didn't see it. I was looking at the list.
Nicely done. I promise I said Madison Keys before you saw I typed that. Hand on heart.
Sure.
Yeah.
Love 30 for Collins. Kasatkina's got to be careful, or things are going to start coming apart for her. Kira's clearly thinking about tennis history right now. So
no, Collins is
this is multitasking. The multitasking here, yeah.
Oh, I'm so bad at
it. Don't worry, I would be struggling as well, to be honest. Love 30 for Kasatkina.
Goes out. I've not said the Williams sisters. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Yes, 2 for the price of 1 there. Yes, the Williams sisters are former Charleston champions. Serena
That's
won
so
it 3
bad.
times. Venus won it once.
That's so bad. I'm so sorry to the Williams sisters.
That's 4 out of 9.
Tracy Austin.
Yes. Did you see that somewhere? Someone
No,
put that in the chat.
I don't think so.
No, they haven't.
Oh, no.
30 all, by the way.
Mm.
Okay, 5 out of 9. That's pretty good.
It's not great.
I'll give you another hint. Same sort of era as Austin and Navratilova.
Okay.
Is the record holder, which is not surprising given it's clay.
Swarner says Sloane Stevens, not me. I won't claim that one.
Well, do you know what? I will give it for Schwarner. He is correct. I'm sorry if I'm wrong on that, Schwarner. Schwarner is correct. 26. Stevens won it in 2016. Lucky as Kasatkina goes into the net. It's a break point for Danielle Collins. 3 more American tennis players for Kira to name. I will say one of them is actually quite hard. You probably do need to know your tennis history pretty well for one of them.
Oh, then let's not back me on that one.
So 30-40. Kasatkina Collins gets the backhand into play. Backhand up the line from Collins, clips the net, lands in. It wasn't going to go in. Kasatkina doesn't matter because Kasatkina runs it down and puts away the forehand and saves the break point.
That would have been quite cruel because that was not going in.
Yeah, it's kind of justice that Kasatkina ran it down.
Yeah, I think so. In this case, yeah.
By the way, someone's asking what time the match officially started. It started at 7:30. I'm assuming that's. I hope that helps you, Y2J fan. As for the American player that you didn't get was you probably struggled to get would be Rosemary Casals.
Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't have thought of her. Obviously heard of her, but I would never think of her.
No one's guessing Linda Fravitova. I'm assuming that's a joke.
Interesting guess, Nolan.
Unless she switched nationalities, and I don't know.
Also, in relation to Nolan, I would like to start a Talking Tennis petition to ban the use of arrows in the Talking Tennis chat.
I don't know.
I second that position.
I mean, I think we can have some fun with those arrows.
Yeah, I feel like a good 50% of the comments on this stream so far have included many arrows.
I've seen worse. Forehand up the line from Kasatkina. Backhand cross court from Collins. Backhand up the line from Kasatkina. Collins slices the forehand. Kasatkina's going to run in and take the backhand, puts it in court, and Collins kind of has to stand and watch because it's too close to her. Advantage. Yeah. I'm sure someone else will second your petition, Kira.
Thank you. I'll find. No, it's fine. I'll find somebody else to.
You might be able to get Jerome maybe.
Jerome maybe can help me out. I don't think so. I think he'd be a fan of the chaos of the arrows.
Advantage Kasatkina, who Collins gets a great return in play and then puts away the inside out forehand at the net. This is starting to look very like Kasatkina's first service game. Yeah,
I mean, if they're all going to look like this, she's going to really struggle. She's just so difficult when you can feel that this could be really long because you just can't get that winner.
First serve out wide from Kasatkina. Too wide. Still under pressure. Backhand in play from Collins. Backhand cross court Kasatkina. Cross court Collins just clips the line. Slice from Kasatkina. Now Collins lines up the backhand cross court. Great angle. Kasatkina has to slice it. No choice because it was dying on the ground. Now she has to run down the line backhand from Collins. Collins tries to go cross court with the backhand to move her around. Drags it wide. Advantage Kasatkina.
Yeah, her main hope of getting points, I think, is probably moving Collins around, making the points longer, which she's doing quite well at times.
Jane, I love this. This is brilliant. One of these players is definitely going to need to benefit from some outrageous fortune. That might be a slightly too highbrow joke for most of the audience, but second serve for
Nicely done, Jane.
Sorry, what?
Nicely done from Jane.
Yes. As Kasatkina gets the game. Hard fought, but she gets it.
Yeah, she did work hard there, I think, and moved Danielle quite well around the court, so that worked in her favour there.
Jake, it's lovely to see you for however long you can be here. I'm going to let Kira answer your question. Is Kasatkina's serve getting gobbled up?
Not every time, but we've seen plenty of gobbles, as you might like to put it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It's happening. It's just Kasatkina is Kasatkina is so yeah. Colin, sorry, is kind of overhitting a little bit, and my stream's been lost.
Oh no. I will do my best in your absence, Nick.
I know you can do this.
Danielle Collins here on a second serve. No, she isn't. I missed one. She double faulted. It's love 15. I can't do this.
Apparently, Jake is following Shelton and Tiafo, which is great.
Oh, you'll have to keep us updated, Jake. I'm very interested.
Yeah, I'm interested in how that's going. Yeah, please keep us updated, Jake.
Collins' first serve goes out wide into the tram line, so second serve here.
Okay, I'm going to fix my stream because I'm now behind.
Goes out wide. Both trading backhands. Kasatkina switches down the line, and a gorgeous winner from Kasatkina for love 30 on the Collins serve.
And this makes me think that possibly, yeah, this is starting to remind me a little bit of the Sakari match, maybe. Like tough hold, Kasatkina builds. Sakari kind of built on it.
Yeah, she definitely did. And it was the same scoreline, I think, wasn't it? 3-love.
Yes, it was. Well remembered.
Collins has something to say about it, though. Comes into the net, puts away tidy forehand winner.
Collins is always going to have something to say about that.
Yeah, she is.
Jake is supporting Daria by the sound of it, which is probably fair. She needs some fans here today.
Yes, she does. And I do. I really like Daria. It's just so hard to argue with Danielle Collins at the present moment.
I'm not sure I want to try arguing with Danielle Collins.
No, I don't think that would end well.
Like, she's just so straightforward. I don't know if I'd want to be honest.
No. $30-all now on the Danielle Collins serve. Serves out wide. Kasatkina scrambles for it, gets it back, but Collins puts away the backhand winner across court. Gives herself game point.
Nice. Well described there, Kira.
Thank you so much. I'm learning every day.
All right, let's see if my stream is now back up to date. Looks like it. Yeah, so I've got second serve Danielle Collins.
Yeah, same here.
Fantastic. I will set this back up. So, yeah, let's have a look, see if Collins can maintain this break advantage at 40-30. Goes up the tee on the second serve, then gets the inside out forehand to the cross-court backhand of Kasatkina, trading cross-court backhand to the minute. Kasatkina slices out. Game Collins 4-1. Oh, it was Medvedev. Jane, Medvedev was playing doubles with Safiullin. Did they win? I haven't checked.
No.
Oh, well, never mind.
But they were playing Rublev and Hashanov.
Which I think is a much more of a an established pairing, especially on a clay court.
Most definitely.
Like, I can't see, like, Safiullin probably is all right on clay, but I don't think his game's suited to it. And Medvedev on clay seems to be this interesting on-off relationship, shall we call it?
Yes. Yeah. He might fall in love with it again if he wins a tournament, but otherwise he tends to be quite scathing.
Yeah, Jane, you're right. We don't see Medvedev playing doubles that often.
No, it's surely an Olympics-related event, you might think.
By the way, one of the there was another correct guess in the chat for the one of the previous Charleston American champions, and that was Chris Evert. She won it 8 times.
That is actually awful. That's so bad.
You couldn't remember Chris Evert.
Chris Evert. Oh my gosh, I love Chris Evert. That is absolutely horrendous from me.
Like I gave you like same era as Navratilova, really good on clay.
So easy. Wow.
I'll put you out of your misery with the last one. You will definitely have heard of this person, Jennifer Capriati.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Like all the big American players from history, basically.
Yes, yeah, basically all the big American players that we all know. Basically in there. Fab.
Also fab is that backhand winner from Danielle Collins. Tell you what, can you see Coco Gauff playing here at some point?
Yeah.
She's got to get her name on that ball.
I would think so, and I'm sure she will. I was quite surprised not to see her playing this week, to be fair.
I think Stuttgart has lured her.
Yes, I believe
also,
so.
She probably wants to be fresh for Billie Jean King Cup.
That's true. I forget she's in. Is she in that?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure she's on the American team.
But didn't we go through the American team yesterday?
Oh no, you're right. No, she's not. You're right. We did.
Yeah.
Which means I've lied on the Ground Pass podcast earlier. I don't know why I keep thinking she was on it.
Yeah, I did before we went through it yesterday. That was when I realised she wasn't.
Inside out forehand long from Kasatkina, who's still giving Collins opportunities on her service games. Speaking of Billie Jean King Cup, I now realise what John is going to. So John's actually going to the Europe-Africa Group 1 matches in Portugal. So it's it's a kind of a round robin pool to try and get into the next year's playoffs. The playoffs for next year's World Group. So countries are Austria, Hungary, Bulgaria, Denmark, Latvia, Netherlands, Turkey, and Portugal.
Should be some good tennis.
Oh, there's also I don't know where they're all based. Also, good grief, there's loads of them. Backhand to the net from Collins, 40-30 Kasatkina. There's also Serbia, Sweden, Greece, Norway. Quite a few big names in action, as John said, such as Wozniacki, Ostapenko, Sakari, Melanie Helgo, or Melaine Helgo. So we'll be bringing you hopefully plenty of interviews with all those big names over the next week or so. It's Kasatkina Holes.
Now I'm just jealous and you get to do all of that in Portugal. Wow.
Hey, you need to start applying for press passes, Kira.
It's on my list. Unfortunately, the only press passes I can think to apply for are places like Birmingham, not Portugal. Slightly different.
If you want to come help me in Birmingham, that'd be great.
I'd love to. What does Portugal have on Birmingham? Nothing.
I would love, Ghosty, by the way, for you to produce an actual bingo cards for us, because that would be brilliant. I'd love to see what that is. And also, that would be quite fun. Backhand from Kasatkina inside out, forehand Collins, the forehand of Kasatkina cross court, drop shot from Collins. Tries to come in behind it, but it's gone in the net, so love 15. Surely
to answer Jane's question, what would be on Damien's bingo card? Surely the word irrelevant? That's my first choice.
Yeah, there's a few. Obviously, Ghostie's spot on with "It doesn't matter."
That's a good one as well. Doesn't matter. Similar vein to Irrelevant, funnily enough.
Yeah. Maybe. Although having said that, that's quite a common word.
Yeah, but in that specific tone, like
Yeah.
there is a certain way.
Maybe.
I do get that. I do get
We
that.
love you
And then
really,
a
Damien.
pause.
Yeah. We love you really, Damien.
Oh, most definitely. I love that he's made his Twitter banner that picture of him. Obviously. So good.
Just chilling.
So
Like, let's be honest, Damien was the most professional one of the two people in Estoril.
It's hard to deny that, I must say.
Now, after some of the evidence we saw today, backhand cross-court from Collins is good for 30-15.
That evidence
Too
is it's not ours to release.
No.
But yeah. Damien's very professional, we'll leave it at that.
Damien is probably the most professional out of all of us.
Yeah. That would
Apart from maybe
be
Mario.
I haven't met Mario yet.
Oh, you get a vibe from him on ATP Weekly. If you watch the stream earlier, he did a very good job with James commentating on the Estoril final.
I did watch a bit of that actually, yeah. He is good.
Yeah. But yes, you can catch Mario with Damien on ATP Weekly. Once a week, funnily enough. Great drop shot from Collins there. 40-15. Trying to move herself to within a game of this first set. Goes up the line. She's got the tee, but misses it. So we've got a second serve coming in from Danielle Collins. Second serve goes into the box. Backhand in play from Collins. Backhand cross-court from Collins. Now she's coming into the net again, and another. I wouldn't call that a drop shot exactly,
No,
but it was
not
just
quite.
it was a very short chip shot, and it just does the job.
Chip shot. I like that. We'll go with that.
Not to be confused with chip shop. Go on, Kira.
I like that too. It's quite incredible how dominant Danielle Collins has been in this set, considering she's got 36% of first serves in.
I think our stream's been hijacked.
Whoa. Not cool. And yet very cool. What a photo that is. That's so good.
I mean, look, what a lad. That's all I'm going to say.
What a lad. He is good.
Yes. Also, Sean, absolutely right. Damien does know the name of more tennis players than anyone else. It is true. Mainly on the ATP side, but that goes to show with the challengers.
Yeah.
Yeah, this probably best sums up Damien.
I think that should be his Twitter bio. I can and Deadpan Rose players.
Yeah,
so
James, spot on.
Sorry, I've decided I like the arrows after all. After Ghosties used them to tell us all that Birmingham's better than Portugal. I've come back round. The arrows are well worth using.
Okay, you withdraw your petition.
I withdraw my petition. It only had one signature anyway, so it was a poor choice from me.
Yeah, it's not about the arrows aren't the problem, it's how you use them.
How you use exactly. And talk about Birmingham, correct.
Yeah, well, you're even if you don't get a breast pass for Birmingham, though, definitely worth going to the tournament if you haven't been before.
I have got a ticket.
Oh, brilliant!
So I will be attending either way.
When are you going? You need to remember what you bought your ticket for.
One of the days.
Please make sure you go on the right one.
Yeah, I know. My tennis tickets are all a bit up in the air at the moment. I cannot remember any of them. Okay,
do you know where you've bought them for?
I know it's Birmingham. Centre Court, Birmingham.
Okay.
Thursday.
Oh, okay. There you go. That's a good day to go.
Mm.
I think if you went on Thursday last year, you would have seen Venus Williams. Would you have seen Venus Williams? No, she was on the Wednesday.
Ah.
I don't know if we know much about the player field for Birmingham yet, actually.
No, I don't think so. We know a couple for Eastbourne and Nottingham, but I don't think I've seen anything about Birmingham.
Yeah, Eastbourne's been the one with the main field confirmations. Great shot from Collins, who now has got a forehand. The Kasatkina forehand that goes long, 15-30. Kasatkina again in trouble on serve. But yeah, going back to Birmingham. Yeah, I mean, if the rumours are true, potentially the last one.
Yes, I know, which is part of the reason why I thought I must go before it disappears.
You've got to go at least once if you live nearby.
Exactly. It'd be so stupid not to.
Second serve chance for Kasatkina, who is currently in her usual bright yellow Adidas tennis dress, serving to Collins, but it's a double fault and it's set points for Collins.
I wasn't sure what was happening there because on the double fault, Danielle seemed to immediately fold over, but she just didn't take a breath. She just immediately tied her shoe, got on with it, set point.
I think she must have felt her shoe slip when trying to go for the return. Backhand from Collins on the return, trying to win this set now. Forehand to the Kasatkina forehand. Forehand up the line is looped long. 30-40, first set point saved by Kasatkina.
Yeah, she was a bit off balance for that one, I think, but she's got another chance here to get the set.
And you can tell that from the replay. She's still not happy about that, though.
Definitely not.
Kasatkina abandons the ball toss. She's serving to Danielle Collins, who's again wearing her usual outfit, green skirt, sort of white top, as serves up the middle. Kasatkina. Forehand from Collins is in. Forehand from Kasatkina is devastating. Collins has to scramble that back. Backhand from Kasatkina. Collins backhand cross court. Backhand Kasatkina. Collins is going to be able to run down for the forehand. Goes cross court. That's a winner. Collins gets the set 6-2. She's halfway there.
She did very well there because, like you said, that Kasatkina, one of her backhands was an absolute rocket. Or was it a forehand? It might have been a forehand.
It was a forehand.
It was a forehand. It was a rocket, and she got it back really well and gained the upper hand again in the rally. Takes the set with just total dominance, really, in this set. Obviously, she's had a few like long service games on the Kasatkina serve, but it's been quite impressive.
Danielle Collins looking seemingly in control here in Charleston, and yeah, let's face it, she hasn't looked massively threatened on serve. She's been in on every Kasatkina service game, just doing what she's been doing to everyone else and just blasting them off the court.
Yeah, which is what we said might happen. So
I think on that set point, Kasatkina did have a very didn't hit through one of her backhands enough, and that was what brought Collins back into the rally to a certain extent. But Collins taking full advantage.
Do you ever wonder with Kasatkina particularly, I think we said it yesterday as well, she can hit the ball very hard, as she proved in that rally at one point with the forehand, but she just sort of almost chooses not to or chooses to play differently. Do you ever wonder whether she should perhaps utilise that fast-paced, hard shot more often?
Would you say the same thing about Medvedev?
That's a great counter question. I've never heard one. Probably, actually, at the moment, I'm probably thinking maybe Medvedev should a bit more, to be fair.
That's kind of, it's the same thing in my mind, is that they've both made very good careers out of it. Okay, Medvedev has achieved somewhat more with his style than Kasatkina, who I think her best results in terms of like points yield have been a Grand Slam semi-final at Roland Garros a couple of years ago. She's been in the Indian Wells final at one point in her career, and obviously she's got a couple of 500s to her name. So like she wins matches with it. It's just whether it's enough for her to take her to the top of the game. So I guess maybe it depends on, maybe it's a question. Maybe if she comes to Birmingham, we can ask her why. But sort of why that is. But I would say it's possible. I mean, it's complete speculation that maybe there's something like about her physicality that doesn't do well with it, and she's more liable to injury if she goes too hard.
Very possible. It does
Or
feel to me like there must be something like that in a way, because I'm not saying she should do it all the time, because like you say, her style works for her at a certain level. It's just whether if she used it more often, perhaps that it would yield some results for her.
and to a certain extent, you just get like the way you learn tennis, you figure out your game style,
Mm,
like, and what's comfortable for you, or it depends on what her coaches have taught her as well when
yeah,
growing up, and it's very hard to sort of reset that.
yeah, 100%.
Um, yeah, Shawana's saying that they don't think that Kasatkina can maintain that power for a whole match. So maybe that's possibly what it is, and it's kind of about
Yeah,
conservation and going at the right time.
yeah.
Collins, however, seems to have easy power, as shown by that forehand cross court. Also, did not realize Collins' first serve was that low, Ghosty.
Oh yeah, it's very, very low, very low.
She got a
But her
first serve.
second serve has worked for her. So
Yeah, well, she got a first serve in there and followed up with a +1 forehand winner, so it's working now.
yeah, that's true. Might see
New
slightly
set,
different stats.
new set, new stats.
What a mantra.
Hey, look, you have to have that mantra if you're playing, especially if you lose the first set.
Oh, it's well, definitely then. Yeah, Danielle Collins might not care about her service stats. She won it 6-2. I mean, you don't want to be the one to say maybe you should do this differently. Really,
And then holds to love as well. Yes, I can't imagine her coach is being too vocal right now.
I would hope not for their sake.
Also,
Really,
would you dare be that vocal if you were Danielle Collins' coach?
I don't think you'd even need to be. It's
No.
like she's vocal enough for everyone in her box. She knows what she's doing. She knows what she wants. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great summary of yeah, Collins as yeah, she knows what she wants and she just goes and gets it.
Exactly. I was just looking, sorry, I was distracted by the set one stats and the fact that they played 46 points on Kasatkina's serve and only 22 on Daniel Collins' serve.
If that isn't an accurate summary of that set,
I
I don't know what
know.
is.
Oh, that's so much more.
Huge backhand winner from Collins, then goes inside out on the backhand there, and backhand on return, then inside backhand, which forced an error from Kasatkina. It's love 15. No surprise there.
No,
At all.
none at all.
I do find it interesting, Kasatkina's game style, thinking about that in our conversation, that like most Russian players do tend to be big swingers, big hitters.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
it's
it's a good
interesting
point.
how she has kind of settled with her game.
She does stand out in that way, I think.
Can you imagine a Kasatkina Medvedev mixed doubles team? Like you couldn't get the ball past them.
Oh my gosh. You'd have no way. The rallies would go on forever, I think.
Although I think Kasatkina would be the one at the net most of the time.
Yeah. They just both stay sort of in the same place, moving back and forth.
Is that how you're supposed to play doubles?
Well, I suppose so.
I don't have an awful lot of doubles experience. I think that's more of a club thing.
Yeah.
30-15, Kasatkina has double faulted 30 all.
I haven't seen any sign that the whatever has caused the strapping on the thigh is bothering her. I don't know about you. I've been sort of keeping an eye on whether there's any wincing, any not going for balls, or the movements hampered. I've not seen anything.
No, I don't think so either. I'm not so sure. I haven't seen any kind of hold up. I think this is all Collins just being overwhelming her, really.
Yeah. No, I totally agree.
We're into a rally now. Collins goes cross court to the Kasatkina forehand, who goes up the line. Cross court backhand from Collins. Kasatkina goes up the line with the backhand right in the middle of the court, and Collins right in her forehand strike zone, inside out. And there we go. Break
That was
point.
such a strong winner.
Collins special right there.
Yeah. But I feel like I'm saying it like every other point at the moment. It's almost it's far from boring, but it feels like I'm just repeating myself.
But then it's an overhit backhand return up break point, and it's deuce.
Could be looking at another slog of a game on the Kasatkina serve.
Would not surprise me. It's been very much the theme of this game. Huge backhand return from Collins, but it was long. Advantage Kasatkina. Some great comments here in the chat, by the way. We've got Ghosty saying that Dash is unusual. So you're putting in the same category as Shea and Dustin Brown. I don't know if she's that creative in the same way.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a massive Shea Wei fan, and I have to say I think Shea Wei is a bit more creative. Yeah, a bit more versatile. She's got so many shots at her disposal. I'm not sure Dash has quite got the same versatility.
I mean, that said, having like Dasha can be really inventive with some of the shots she pulls off. Like there was a point against Pegula yesterday where she was kind of hitting a shot behind her overhead.
Yeah, that's true.
And she does have a lot of variety which she likes to deploy.
Yes, yeah. I suppose it's just that sort of creativity that I would say Shea Wei maybe applies to every point she plays, whereas maybe we see that from Dasha every other game or something.
Yeah, that's reasonable. Break point, because another huge forehand from Collins has overwhelmed Kasatkina, who's now looking at box going, I don't know what to do. But it doesn't matter, because that was actually a pretty good body serve that jammed Collins up as she was trying to go for the backhand return. Well-placed serve there from Kasatkina.
It was, yeah, to stop her from executing that brilliant return that she can do. And even Danielle Collins gave that one a clap. She knew how good that was.
Here we go. Oh, is that a... Yeah, that was a huge return from Collins again. Break point.
What else do we expect, honestly?
Still some great comments to come back on. Huge. Oh my word. What a return from Danielle Collins. Right on the line on the cross-court backhand. Kira is in disbelief at how good
That's just silly. That's just absolutely ridiculous. I think I'm so torn between being so in awe of Danielle Collins and how she returns the ball. And I just feel for Kasatkina so much because honestly, what can she do when she returns the ball like that? I don't know what Kasatkina can do.
I mean, no one's been able to do anything with Collins this week. Like,
No.
Ons was there or thereabouts, but when Collins switched on, there was nothing she could do.
No.
We then had Stevens, who was actually looking pretty good, dismissed. Zachary in good form, dismissed, and now we've got Kasatkina,
who has played really well this week. We should absolutely give her credit for how well Kasatkina has played this week, but it's just you come up against Collins at the moment and there must be a part of you that dreads it.
Maybe so when we come on to the next tournament. Great backhand winner from Collins. She's just in full flow now. Look, 15 love. It's just a joy to watch.
Yeah, it really, really is. Yeah. If you don't get too hung up on feeling a bit sorry for Kasatkina, it's brilliant.
I don't know why you're fearing JPEG, Ghosty. Honestly, I think Collins would be doing exactly the same thing to Pegula in the final, especially given how tired Pegula would have been after that.
Totally agree. One of Pegula's biggest strengths for me is covering the court, and I think if she's a bit tired, she's not able to do that, and that's going to hinder her massively if she got into this final.
There we go. Yeah, another backhand winner from Collins. Nicely improvised. Oh, it's an ace from Collins.
It's an ace. What is this? This is just mad. Oh wow. This is special.
This is a level that I have very rarely had the privilege to commentate on.
Yeah. It's like an inevitable level. It feels that way. It's unbelievable.
trading forehands at the minute. Kasatkina's got to run that down, but it goes out. Connor's holds to love. She leads 6-2, 3-love.
It's like a shock when she misses a shot, which obviously she's going to miss some shots. Everyone does. But when she misses one, I'm like, oh, what could possibly have happened there? I'm certain it's just every shot has been so. That service game was brilliant, just brilliant.
Schwan is saying that he would be surprised if Collins doesn't qualify for the WTA finals.
As Jerome kept telling me recently, it's only March, which is actually April now, but it's only April. But I do think it's a good shout, to be honest, at the rate she's going at the moment, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're a long way away and other things can still happen, but, you know, she's got a good bank of points in already.
She's seventh in the race currently without this final, right? So.
Yeah, I reckon so. I haven't looked at the race. But yeah, look, all she needs to do is just be consistent, even if she's not necessarily winning more titles. She just needs to be super consistent.
Which, right now, even if this form doesn't continue to the point where, like you say, she's winning title after title, you struggle to see her suddenly reverting to a style of play where she's unable to get through rounds at tournaments.
Ghosty saying Collins 11-11 from net. Yeah, I know what you mean, but I think I don't know if that stats out of date from 7 minutes ago, but I do think there's an element where she's trying to finish points. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, I agree. I believe that was in the first set, and she did come to the net really well, mostly just to put stuff away. But yeah, it did work.
Thanks for the update on Tiafoe and Shelton. So still on third. We might have to switch over to that, see what kind of competition we get.
Exactly. I'm very interested in that match, to be fair. I do think it's a really great Houston final.
I agree with you, Ghosty. I do wish that they hadn't put those matches on at the same time.
Do they? I don't know how it works, obviously, but do they have any sort of communication between tournaments that are on the same week about maybe not scheduling? It feels like something they should do, but I don't know if they bother.
Clearly not, given we had Estoril and Marrakesh starting at the same time.
Yeah, part of me wondered if it was partly because obviously now it's Charleston and Houston, they're ATP versus WTA, so maybe they wouldn't communicate. But like you say, Estoril, Marrakesh, there's no point to that. I don't understand why they would do that.
I mean, maybe they're just putting their local audiences first.
Yeah, I suppose. But I don't think even like switching it a certain way, both ways, would that really be that much of a detriment to the local audience?
We don't know. Maybe we should ask a tournament director.
Maybe we should ask Birmingham's tournament director.
Yeah. I mean, I actually did interview the Birmingham tournament director last year, but I didn't ask him about that.
No. That's all right. You've got to save some questions for upcoming years, right?
Yeah. Jake's got a question for you.
Currently, no. But I'm currently also in the process of trying to sort when I can get in the queue. I haven't got any tickets, but I think I'm gonna queue it. Give it a go.
Yeah. Jim, I actually did have a spare ticket at one point, but someone else has already claimed it.
They're quick to claim. I have been looking at the returns and they're very quick to disappear. So, yeah.
Yes, this is true. I mean, keep an eye on it. Still, you never know. But
yeah, but I'm quite intrigued by getting on the queue. I'd really like to do one of the earlier days. So,
if you've not done the queue before, I can give you all kinds of tips.
I would like all kinds of tips, please, for the queue. I will need them greatly.
By the way, I am talking about a pool queue now. That was terrible. I do apologise.
It was, but I could also. I'm not very good at pool either. Snooker though, I'm still not very good at.
Snooker's harder.
Exactly. I am better at it though, to be fair.
Kasatkina might have a chance to get a game here. Collins gets for the return. Oh, it's a winner. Juice.
I don't know why you even said it.
Why do we even bother?
That was a great return. Great return.
I mean, Renzo thinks this tournament's been too easy for Collins.
She has been playing like top 5. That's true.
Can't argue
The
with
Ons
that.
Jabeur match, there was an element of struggle in that. It didn't happen for long, but there was an element of having to get through that one.
Backhand from Collins up the line, backhand Kasatkina, backhand Collins cross court, backhand Kasatkina. They're trading back into the mid. Collins change direction with that backhand up the line. That's a winner. And she's got break point.
I don't know what else to say about it. That was really good. I'm running out of superlatives. I'm running out of vocabulary. And I think Kasatkina's running out of patience.
I mean, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would. I'd have run out by now. Must
And
be
she's
so annoying.
Definitely ran out of patience there after that backhand return that Kasatkina just can't do anything with. And it Collins was a double break full of. How many games in a row is this from Collins? 6 now? At least.
It's 6.
Yeah, it's 6 games.
Yeah.
Virtual bagel. Can she manufacture the real thing?
Very possible. Like Jake says, gobbled up.
Indeed.
Perfectly put.
Ghosty, we did actually wonder about Kasatkina's right thigh. We don't think it has that much of an impact, to be honest.
No, it's. I'm really not. I have been keeping an eye on her for any sort of wincing or struggling to get to balls or hampered movement. I'm not seeing any of that, to be honest, today. But she's clearly felt something there because she did, get the medical timeout yesterday, and she was in pain when they were working on it. You can tell that. So
huge forehand return winner from Kasatkina. Have they swapped?
That did feel like a swap. That was brilliant.
That was just a slap and hope for the best, and it went in.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose at this point she is going to have to try something a little bit different. Slapping and hope for the best might work.
Another huge forehand winner.
It really might work.
She's just decided, you know what? It's just not working. I'm just going to swing for it. Well,
yeah.
And we were talking about her, like, why she doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Maybe she's going, well, I can't sustain this for very long, but I'm going to keep this up for as long as I can sustain it because it might get me back in this match.
Yeah, I mean, if she can give it a go for a while, I don't see why she wouldn't. Even just the change of pace might help her to a certain extent.
First serve long from Collins, who's now probably a little bit rattled with how good those returns were from Kasatkina. Goes for the second serve, up the tee, backhand from Kasatkina. So she's avoiding the forehand at the minute. Cross-court forehand from Collins is right on the baseline, and then puts away the backhand swing volley. Cross-court 15-30. Kind of sets things straight, as it were.
Yeah, that was probably, and this is saying a lot about the match as a whole, that was probably the toughest point of the match for Collins, I would think, mentally. Just after those 2 incredible points from Kasatkina, just to reset and play like that.
Collins goes up the tee, but misses the first serve. Ghosty, I'm going to reply to your point. I do agree to a certain extent. I think the casual fan might not necessarily be, or someone who's a bit newer to tennis might not necessarily be enthralled by this final. But even then, people recognize good tennis and good level when they see it. I think Collins is playing a standard of tennis that is impressive regardless of how dominant it is. That being said, that backhand up the line wasn't that impressive because she's just given Kasatkina 2 break point chances.
She has. This is her first one, isn't it? Yeah.
Maybe this will get a bit more competitive, as Bastia might be hoping for. Hello, Bastia. Great forehand they're going forehand to forehand. Up the line, forehand from Collins. Kasatkina can't run it down. First break point saved, 30-40.
Yeah, that was good. Moving Kasatkina around from Danielle Collins to save the break point, but she's still got another one to save.
Yeah. Still got opportunities. That's what everyone needs to remember. But Kasatkina is looking like she's like, couldn't do anything about that one. Collins' first serve is in, goes back behind Kasatkina on the cross court, doesn't quite draw the error, but goes inside on the forehand with the winner, saves the second break point deuce. Two very excellently handed break points.
Most definitely. And especially when she's not had to face any the whole match so far, I think that's a good way to face your first two at this point in the match.
It's just dismissive, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Due second serve for Collins, who this is the first, still trying to get his game done and put herself within a game of this. Backhand in play from Kasatkina. No, it wasn't. Backhand was long from Kasatkina on the return. Collins is marking it. Umpire's coming down to check it. I think it's probably going to be out. There's a little bit of uncertainty about which mark it is. Yeah, it's definitely out, but not by much, according to the umpire.
I've not seen Collins get one of those wrong this week. When she steps back and she circles it and she moves away, I've not seen her get that wrong.
So Collins has advantage to take us to 5-love in this set. Ready, serves up the tee. Shot back in play from Kasatkina. Inside out forehand from Collins is a winner. 5-love.
She really hit the mark on that one. That was the sort of, yeah, you're not breaking me. Yeah. She could have. I feel like even if Kasatkina had broken there, we would have just seen that same attitude from Collins in the next service game to break back. It just feels like there's nothing that can really like crush her spirit, to put it mildly.
Absolutely not.
Thank you for the congratulations, Ghosty. I'm just taking your congratulations for Liverpool. I don't care about the other congratulations. It was for an English loss. It felt pretty good to me, anyway.
I mean, I did catch that match, the end of that match, and it was it must have been a frustrating experience for a Liverpool fan.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse, I would say. So a draw probably flatters both teams.
Do you want to tackle Nerland's question?
Sure. She's been dominated by a few players in the WTA. Which one do you think is the worst for you? In terms of the one that I would hate to see come up in a draw against Iga, which I think is what you mean, Ostapenko. If I see Ostapenko in an Iga draw, I'm a bit nervy.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I mean, worst, it depends what you mean by worst.
Yeah, I'm just taking that as like the one that you don't want her to play.
And yeah, it's Ostapenko.
Yeah.
Because the only other players with a head-to-head advantage over her, well, Sakkari doesn't have that anymore because it's 3-all. And she's pretty much one behind Rybakina now, if not tied again. No. I think she's only one behind Rybakina. I think she's going to even that rivalry out. I'm not worried about Rybakina in the same way.
No,
it's Ostapenko I want to get that first win against.
Yeah. And that's as much the matchup as it is a block for Iga because she's not even beaten her once, I think. So it's like both of those things combined.
Great serving from Kasatkina to move to 40-love. That was unreturnable. She's really swinging for it now.
Yeah. And the 3 points would have been nice. Yes. Thank you, Ghosty, for saying that and making me feel.
Hey, look, Arsenal could still slip up against United. It's City you got to worry about.
Oh, I totally agree. I'm sorry to any Arsenal fans, but I'm not very worried about Arsenal. But Man City, yeah, they've given me good reason to worry. Oh, that's a beautiful return from Danielle again. Sorry, I just.
Hey, look, you're allowed to say it. Don't just rely on me to tell you what's going on.
No, it's just so good down the line.
Answering some other questions, maybe in a sec. Kasatkina is going to serve, but she's missed that. No, she didn't miss it. Collins now tees up the backhand and then puts the overhead over the baseline. Game Kasatkina. Probably the worst shot she's hit all match.
Yeah, that one wasn't great, and she knows it. But she's still serving it out now, so I don't think she'll be too upset about not getting the bagel. Kasatkina fist pumping though. She's still got some belief in her, which is good to see.
Well, she knows she's not getting bagels. That's just a point of pride at this point.
Yeah.
Basia, to answer, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing your name, by the way, right. So please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. But is Daria 100% uninjured? No, but I don't think the injury is bad enough. Like, it's not hindering her movement too much. Huge ace from Collins, by the way.
Yeah, I don't think it's really affecting the way that she's playing, but she is clearly struggling with something in that thigh. That I don't think the bandaging is superficial. She did definitely need to get that done yesterday to carry on with the match.
Sean updating us on Shelton Tiafoe.
5-all. Gonna get a tie break, do you think? Who do you think will win that, by the way? I didn't ask you earlier. Shelton Tiafoe?
I was leaning Shelton, but Tiafoe is doing better.
From what I haven't seen loads of Houston this week, but from what I've seen some really good play from Tiafoe, actually, which is nice to see after an extended period of him not being where he'd want to be.
You've seen more than I am because I've seen none of it, but I've seen a lot of Danielle Collins recently as she's teeing up at the net, but that's too good. But Kasatkina goes long, and Collins has 3 championship points to put her name up in lights with the American greats in Charleston.
All of which I was fully able to name.
Yes, of course. There's no video evidence to the contrary at all. Right. Championship point, 5-1, 40 love. Serves out wide from Collins. And the return hits the net. There's some dispute at the minute. It looks like the first serve was long and Collins wasn't sure it was.
So she'd done it.
Serve. That would have been such a quick way to finish it. Bit of an anticlimax there. Right, we go again. We get the hype back up. Second serve. Double fault.
She knew after that first one went out, I think she just knew that point was pointless. Move on to the next one. She wants to win it on a first serve.
Reset and try again. 40-15. Danielle Collins. It's gonna serve, but first serve into the net. Tightening up when the finishing line gets close. Resets. Just brush some hair out of her eyes. Moves into the second serve. Forehand from Kasatkina in play. Backhand from Collins. It is really, really good. Kasatkina has to defend with the slice. Still running that one down. Collins is going to finish with the overhead, and she is the champion in Charleston. She joins the greats. Danielle Collins is unbeaten for 3 weeks, 13 matches in a row, a class above the field. Collins, the class of Charleston.
Totally in a league of her own this week, and really last week and the week before that. Incredible tennis today. Nice moment at the net between the two, despite, obviously a disappointing scoreline for Kasatkina, particularly in her third final this year. But I don't even think she should be too disappointed with her level. I don't think Kasatkina played badly in any way. I think Danielle Collins is just too good right now.
Yeah, absolutely. She is just too good. And we've been using all these kind of superlatives. I mean, she's beaten Elena Rybakina, who's one of the players of the moment. And I guess this begs the question, if she faces off with Sabalenka or Swiatek anytime soon, how's that going to go?
It would be interesting, to say the least. Obviously, we've already seen her in some real battles with Iga this year. I don't think she's played Sabalenka this year, off the top of my head.
No.
I'd be really interested to watch it anyway.
I think Iga Collins would feel good about, depending on the surface and the circumstance. Roland Garros, I still back Iga to win that match.
Yeah.
pretty much anywhere else, game on for Collins.
Yeah, I agree. Roland Garros is a slightly different beast, but everywhere else, Danielle Collins is a different beast. So they
Which
should all
then,
be watching out.
and I guess for it would depend on which version of Sabalenka showed up.
Yeah,
'Cause
definitely.
could you imagine if Sabalenka on a good day against this version of Collins? That would be match of the year.
Yeah, it would. I kind of want it to happen. I don't know. We talked the other day about where Danielle Collins will play next, and I think we said likely Stuttgart, did we, or Madrid, more likely?
Well, she's in qualifying. She has to qualify for Stuttgart, so she has to go through qualifying if she's going to be in there. She's
Yes, of course. But
second
is
highest
she?
seed.
But she's not confirmed for that,
She is confirmed, like she's on the entry list,
right?
but she could pull out.
Yeah, right. Okay.
She could pull out, which I wouldn't be surprised if she did.
Yes. Yeah.
Whereas I think, so it would probably be Madrid.
Yeah.
Where we see her back, because by that point, top 20 ranking kicks in. I think she's going to be world number 15 now.
That sounds right. I don't know off the top of my head, but yeah, that sounds about right.
Which is probably not great for the top 4, because that puts her could bump into her in the 4th round of a Slam or Madrid.
Yeah, they'd want her ranked higher for sure. And right now she's playing higher ranked tennis than number 15 in the world for me anyway.
Yeah, it's almost like number 7 in the race level.
Yes, that sort of level sounds about right.
Even then, that seems too low.
I know. Number 7 in the world doesn't seem right for how she is right at this moment. I think somebody else said it a minute ago. She's a top 5 player.
I mean, right now, like in the absence of challenges such as Swiatek and Sabalenka, she's the best player in the world.
Very true. Very true. I'm excited to see her play Swiatek and Sabalenka to see where we can kind of put her amongst the top.
I don't think she's thinking too much about the future though, because she's enjoying the moment right now. Danielle Collins,
As she should be.
10th woman to win Charleston. They're currently introducing all the people who are going to be doing the trophy presentation. They all look like they're having a wonderful time, including the umpire. So that's a good sign to see everyone sort of able to laugh, because everyone takes all these ceremonies so seriously.
So seriously, yeah. This is the first one I've seen for a while where they're all actually laughing for once.
There we go. That's if nothing else, that's going to endear Charleston to you.
Very true. And I think there should be a lot more about Charleston to endear it to people. I think this week has proven that once again, that Charleston is, for me, one of the best 500s on the tour.
I mean, it won best 500 the last 2 years.
And will it do so again? I think it would make sense.
I think this definitely has to go down as one of the best tournaments of the year, full stop, because we had this incredible level of tennis produced by Danielle Collins. And when Collins wasn't playing, it was blockbuster matches all around.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Every match that wasn't a Danielle Collins match was quite close, quite, nip and tuck, who's going to win. Obviously, Danielle Collins, relatively easy.
Ghosty, the WTA have awards for like best tournaments of different categories. So there's a Charleston won that award 2 years running, best 500 by the WTA. Kasatkina is doing her runners-up speech. So we'll get to see that in a minute. But yeah, thoughts are, I think Kasatkina is going to be disappointed she couldn't compete with Collins, but I think when she watches that back, she'll realise that there wasn't a lot she could do.
No, and if we're being honest, there probably wasn't a lot she could do in all 3 of her finals this year. And I hope when she looks back at them, she's able to see that and use them as fuel for the rest of the year. She's done really well to get to those 3 finals. And if she keeps playing this brilliant tennis that we've seen from her, hopefully she'll reach a lot more finals and she won't end up coming up against these incredible form players at the time.
Yeah, if a draw falls on place for at a 500, 100% able to win it.
Yeah.
she should have a good chance. Because is she going to be allowed to play the Olympics this year? I think that's
It's a bit up in the air, I think, isn't it?
Yeah. Because if not, Washington 500's right there in the same week.
Right there. Right there, and should be very appealing to her.
Update on the Shelton match. She takes the first set 7-5 against Tiafoe. Well, Siobhan is saying that Collins is 4th in the race. Is that what you're saying?
Is that after this win today? That would make sense. She was 7th before today.
Yeah, it would make sense. Which, that's big then.
Yeah.
I would imagine the women ahead of her would be Swiatek, Sabalenka, and Rybakina.
They are, yeah.
Oh, you've looked it up?
Yes.
I know I can rely on you.
So occasionally you can. Yeah, it's Iga first, then Rybakina, then Sabalenka, and it hasn't changed on mine yet to put Collins further up. But if Swan is saying she'd be 4th.
Check the live WTA ranking, or is that what you're looking at?
That is what I'm looking at. It's just not live enough.
Okay, we're too fast, even for the people who update that website.
I think so. Yes, at least mine is. Maybe I'm on the wrong one.
Does it have 7th, and does it have like a next points thing next to it?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah,
and she's in 7th, and it makes total sense for her to be 4th. She'd go above Zhang.
Yeah. Whose points this year are somewhat inflated by that Australian Open final, but we don't need to get into that. Kasatkina is just finishing everything off. I hope I'm kind of hoping that one, like, I'm with you. I'm hoping that she gets to do a title, gets up titles, so because it would be fun to see her vlog after winning something.
Yeah, it really would. I wonder whether they'd have a slightly different tone as well. If she wins the whole tournament, she might be even more excited. Well, she should be. But it's nice to see her speech. Obviously, I'm not listening to it, but just watching her give her speech, she's smiling. She seems to be in good spirits for considering the loss that she's just had.
Considering the beating that she's just taken.
Yes.
Yeah. Which it was. I mean, again, that's just too good from there. Danielle Collins.
What is there to say?
No, we've said it all. Like we were lost for words during the second set.
Yeah, I was. I only have so many words I can use to describe a ridiculously good backhand down the line return or a ridiculously good forehand cross court return, whatever it might be. It was just impeccable today.
I only have so many words I can use. What exactly want to hear from a tennis commentator?
Look, a new tennis commentator who is gaining more words. Fingers crossed. And I still don't actually know, because I still think in 10 years, when I've gained far more words, I still don't think I'll have enough to describe that Danielle Collins performance today.
Yeah, I think this is going to be one that we all look back on for a long time to come. And this is now one of these stories of the year. Danielle Collins, as she lifts the Charleston trophy, and she is the champion. And, she is that badass that she is not going to bother defending it. Can't touch her in Charleston.
No, absolutely not. She's gonna win it and bin it.
I mean, it wouldn't bin that, because that's actually a really nice trophy.
Yeah, I was just about to say that it's a lovely trophy. Actually, I really like that one.
There you go. So yeah, her winner's speech is kind of happening right now. So yeah, I guess all the questions now about Danielle Collins is how long she can continue this for. And look, the unfortunate if the rest of the tour was in the US, I would say definitely. Because we're moving on to European clay, because everything's going to be a bit different, that question mark is still kind of there. It's a bit like the discussions we're having around Yannick Sinner 2.0 and how he's going to do on clay.
Yeah, love that 2.0. I think for Danielle Collins, I've talked a lot about whether I think she can continue this form or not, especially, like you say, such a good point with going into Europe. I think I've got to a point now that she's won that title, where I'm like, you know what? I don't think it matters that much whether she can continue this form in particular. Obviously, if she does, it's ridiculous and incredible in all the words we've been using. But what she's already done in these last 3 weeks has been so, so impressive. And like you say, something that we'll talk about at the end of the year as one of the stories of the year. So I think if she can just keep up some consistency for the rest of the year, I think that in itself is a feat. I think she's already achieved probably far more than she would have expected to achieve in her final year of tennis.
Oh yeah. Let's face it. I don't think, and like, you don't expect this kind of performance from a retiring player.
No,
I
definitely
mean,
not.
imagine if Rafa came back and did this.
Oh, don't. You'll get me excited. Yeah, no, I don't see that one quite so much. But I think I do wonder whether, she seems to take all of this in stride completely. Nothing phases her, nothing, troubles her, nothing bothers her. You wonder whether she did feel that weight off once she announced her retirement, and she did know that she was capable of this sort of thing. It doesn't feel like it's a shock to her that she's performing so
It
well.
shouldn't be.
No, it shouldn't be.
It should not be a shock to Danielle Collins. I mean, she's a Grand Slam finalist, for crying
Exactly.
out loud.
Yeah. But
Um,
yeah, I just think more than anything, she's achieved so much this year already. I think more than anything, what I'd like to see from her for the rest of her final season of tennis is just that
Mhm.
she enjoys it as much as she has these last 3 weeks, because that's been a real pleasure to watch as well.
Yeah, and hopefully she does. I think there's an element maybe with the, again, I talk about the US thing. She might be really comfortable in the US because it's not far from home. Like, she got to sleep in her own bed between Miami and Charleston. She said she was very happy about doing that.
Yeah.
That's not going to be possible when she flies over to Europe.
No, definitely not.
But hey, tennis players have got to be comfortable. All right. Well, I guess we'd better start wrapping things up and maybe dive over to see if Shelton can get the job done against Tiafoe in this Houston final. But thank you so much, Kira, for coming on and sharing the stage and so wonderfully bringing us this match.
I wouldn't have missed it. Thank you for being here as well, Nick.
You were so excited by the prospect of doing so. We do the Charleston final as well.
Well, once you've done a semi-final, it just feels like, come on, we had to.
It's got to be done. It's got to be done. Well, I hope we do many more of these at over the clay court season. I'm assuming your plan for the rest of this week is to, in addition to whatever you have to do for your course, binge watch Monte Carlo.
Monte Carlo, yes, I am a little bit beside myself about Monte Carlo. I don't know what it is that gets me so excited, but I can't wait.
Recommendation, if you ever decide you want to plan a trip, James read a very good piece 2 years ago on his experience of going there.
Oh, perfect.
And,
I
like,
would love
top
to plan a
tips
trip.
for planning a trip.
Yeah, perfect.
Might be a
Thank you
bit
for
late
that.
now, but
Yeah, it is a bit late now, and also in terms of all the other tennis I'm hoping to see in the summer, probably a little bit of a stretch financially, but next year
yeah.
on my list.
Would you and are you planning on watching any of the Billie Jean King Cup next weekend?
Yes, I will watch a certain amount of it. I'll probably be quite busy with Monte Carlo, but I do enjoy the Billie Jean King Cup. I think I'm usually more invested in later stages.
Yeah, I definitely think. I mean, look, I don't have Tennis Channel International, so I'll be watching the GB France tie, which should be super close, I think.
Yeah,
Um,
that one I would not miss that one for sure.
which will be on the BBC, so you can definitely watch it. If I'm just going to see because I want to see what the teams are, just to sort of whet the appetite. Yeah, so France have got Garcia, Burrell, Parry, and Mladenovic. And they're in France. And then we've got Bolter, Dart, Watson, and a certain Emma Raducanu.
A certain Emma Raducanu, no less.
Um,
Yeah, that one will be fascinating. That one definitely worth a watch, I think.
I think so too. I think that it's going to be a very even tie. But we've also got lots of Monte Carlo tennis to watch. The tennis in Charleston is done. The confetti is streaming down as Collins and Garcia sort of got their arms around each other, ready for it. And then Collins is going to be taking photos now with her trophy. And yeah, it's all smiles and sweetness in Charleston right now. So thanks again, Kira. Much appreciate it. Keep an eye on the channel, everyone. We should have some more videos coming up from Estoril Real. Obviously, we've got some more behind the scenes for a Billie Jean King Cup. That's like the playoffs are happening in Portugal. We've got a challenger coverage as well, and of course, we'll be doing lots of live streams of Monte Carlo. And of course, let's face it, it wouldn't be Talking Tennis without your regular ATP and WTA weeklies, which will be tomorrow at some point, times TBC, Damien Mario for ATP Weekly, myself for WTA Weekly. I'm looking forward to seeing as many of you then as I can. Until then, you know the drill. Take care and keep talking tennis.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.